Honestly, when playing with them, it would just turn into boring. Like everything's kind of just stalematey. Is that the way that most of your games go, or do you guys occasionally get like you get to full cap people sometimes?
If they up massively at some point in the game, sometimes we do get sudden death games, but I like the majority of the games. I think they go the full 45 minutes.
What was that about not getting sudden death wins?
Ooh, that was good. That was good right there.
What's up, guys? Nolan here. If you've been following the channel for a little while, you've probably heard about this TAAG System stuff. For those who don't know, TAAG System, TAAG, the Autistic Armchair General. That is the name of the channel. Yes, that is me. It is my system. Because nobody else was doing what I was doing. And every single person I ran into was harassing me, bullying, being extremely disrespectful about all of my findings and what I was trying to do with it. Until a couple people weren't. Had some players come into the Discord, started coaching them, started to improve my findings, and then eventually some pro players came into the Discord. We argued back and forth for 48 hours until it turned into name calling and more harassment, and then just changing the subject whenever I would explain something. And then eventually a reasonable person showed up. Who we have here is Zulu. Zulu won the 1v1 tournament that happened. I actually don't know when it happened, but he's the 1v1 world champion. And he's part of the Monkeys, which is the 5v5 champion. At least I think he is. I don't actually follow the competitive stuff. I'm pretty sure he is. He's one of the top players in the world in terms of competitive. I sat down with Zulu and his buddy Relic, which again, I actually don't know what Relic's place is in this. Relic did a lot of listening, and he was in this gameplay that I'm about to show you. But these are two no bullshit top level players, no matter what the three numbers next, or rather the three letters with a number next to it says on their icon now, because it is extremely high. They're some of the best players in the world. Sat with them for hours, explained what I needed to explain. They started this process with the intention of fucking with me, as did everybody. But the reality is, this is the reality. This is dominant. And now based off our findings through 1v1s, through group play, as few as it is, but we'll get to that in a minute. Scenario work and proper legwork of testing units, testing theories, working together in-game. It's now a full fact. This, what I'm calling system, is the best way to play the game. Full stop. Now, as with any way to do something, there can be flaws. There can be things that end up popping up eventually after time, after balance, after updates. Of course. Of course that can happen. But there has literally not been a single case where I wasn't doing what I intended to do, or Zulu was doing what he was intended to do after I've taught him, and it failed. I don't know where else to go from here other than widen the pool, and I gladly will. I don't know who else will be able to adapt to this. I don't know who else will take it seriously. I don't know, and I've started to not care. The viewership on this channel is not where it should be for me to be able to, like, continue to dedicate the time that I am. Because what you guys aren't seeing is, although I'm posting the gameplay, is I'm still doing the scenario work. I'm still coaching people. I'm still working with people in the Discord. And then meanwhile, the player numbers keep going down. And I've lost confidence that the devs are going to be able to do something interesting at a consistent pace with this game. Actually, a big piece of me is wondering if, because the community is so negative and they've made the money that they've made, if they just don't coast for the next 2 years. They're a small team, guys. They just made a buttload of money. Death threats and being as negative and being as harassing as we are. And yes, I said we, even though I'm not a part of it. I get it. I was a dev. That is the absolute wrong way to go about doing this stuff, because they're just gonna not walk off, but they're just gonna coast. That's the reality. If they're making hires, that's good. If things are actually gonna change, that's good. But I've seen mostly negative in terms of hope for it. I truly believe that if there is going to be anything that makes this game any different, it's going to take a year plus to get there. I have lost hope in their ability to understand the state of the game, the balance, the community, the people within it, and or just the best way to play the game. Because 5v5 is too much. It might not be too much for the people at the top, like myself, and probably a bunch of you guys that are watching, in terms of understanding how to play and skill level in the game, which has now been backed up. But for people that are new to the game, there's nothing to cling to. There's nothing to understand. And that was the core start. That was the core reason for the TAAG system. Going back to my Tarkov roots, if you guys followed me over there, you'd know I have 5-minute map guides. I had friends that were trying to play, and they didn't want to watch 40-minute map guides to be able to understand. They just wanted to figure out what's what, how do they leave, and then go play for themselves. Exact same thing was going to happen here. But what ends up happening is masterclasses, 4-hour videos, because there is too much to understand. It's too much. There's nothing in this game to actually let new players learn and grow. Literally nothing in a multiplayer capacity. Zero. There's too many people in the game. There's not good enough communication in the game. It's text chat. Who in a close game is going to stop paying attention to their frontline units that they're trying to micro and do well with to text? It's not 2006. It's 2025. The fact that they didn't add VoIP is bonkers. Oh, but it would be too toxic. You mean like all the people that they needed to kick off for being racist to the Chinese community? You mean that kind of toxicity? Which, if you're not getting the point, happened anyway, and the solution is the same. You ban the people. You mute them. If somebody's being mean to you in game, you mute them. And then you miss all of the positive. Which is, if new players don't know what's going on, and they're not in a Discord call, they're just trying to play the game because they have 2 hours after working all day and wanted to play a game that they're interested in. It is a waste of time. The solo queue is a utter waste of time compared to other games. People that want their strategy fix are going to play something else. People that just want to enjoy their time are just going to play something else. It's proven. And there's nothing in game to stop that. We needed VoIP. We needed some kind of system in place so that people would know what they were doing when they got into multiplayer, because the multiplayer plays absolutely nothing like single player. Nothing. Has nothing to do with the tutorial. None of what you're doing in multiplayer has any traction in single player. Apart from the obvious controls. This unit does that. The spawns don't work the same. The objectives don't work the same. The units, vast majority of which, are not even being used in the campaign. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. So, what I set out to do was to try and break it down so that it is manageable, it is understandable concepts of strategy that people can cling to. Anybody that's played, let's say, League of Legends. I have no idea what happens in League of Legends. I know very little about the game, but every time I hear about it, I hear the term jungler. Jungler, assuming, or jungle. I'm going jungle, something like that. That is a role. Regular sports, American football. You got the quarterback, you got the wide receiver, you got the lineman, and you got the center. None of them need to go into a text chat mid-play in order to communicate what they are doing. Ahead of the play, they were able to verbally say what they were going to do very quickly and then go and do it. So based off of minimal communication, they could go and do something very complex while still understanding what the other person was going to do. Now, it's on that other person and that other player to memorize the play and to already understand their role within that gameplay, which is on them and is fine. It's all part of the game. But the way that every single person has ever played Broken Arrow is they jump in the game and everybody splits up and marks where you're going. Hey, mark where you're going. Why aren't you marking where you're going? And everybody is going and playing 5 separate 1v1s. You do not need to do that. You don't. Work together, have more objectives, get more kills every 15 minutes. Or to be honest, it's every 14 minutes and like say 55 seconds or whatever at that point before the phase ends, and you're going to win the game. If you do it more if you do it way less in the first phase, but you have at least 1 point, you're good to go. If you do it a little bit more in the second phase, you're probably in trouble, but you probably should start moving. If you dominate the third phase, you're going to win the game. That's how the game works. What units you bought, what deck you chose, how you built that deck, and then what units you choose when you get into that game and what you do with them is completely on the player, and there is zero information in the game to do that and how to understand that at all. And then when you get into the game, you could have done everything perfectly, but you will not outspend 3 other players. So just playing the game, you go into a 5v5, you do very well. 3 players will stop you no matter how good you are, no matter what units you bring, no matter how many kills they get. They're going to run out of ammunition. They can only shoot so many targets at once within range. You cannot beat 3 people. And at no point is that explained to you what your issue is, ever. What you do get is some German or Eastern European guy yelling at you in broken English in text, saying you're bad for whatever reason. Do you know why? No. Does he know why? Probably not. He's probably doing the same, or if not worse, he's just looking for somebody to blame most of the time. That's the reality. That is what the game is. So we need something to clasp to. Within the TAAG system, there's 3 roles. Similar to wide receiver, center, lineman, and/or quarterback. Depends on if you actually know American football. The center's the guy that hikes the ball. So the guy that starts with the ball and then throws it and then hikes it to the quarterback, so the quarterback throws it and then throws it to whoever can score. There's roles. All of them very different, but all of them very important. So within the TAAG system, there's fast push, hard push, and support. Fast push, you use the economy to outspend your enemy and gain information. That's the TLDR to it. So you put units that are well suited for the role up in the face of anybody that is anywhere near the most objectives. In doing so, you're trading ideally, but you are getting them to use resources. You are spotting their units, and you are keeping them distracted. A hard push, still aggressive, more armor, a bit more of a defensive role, AA, strong SHORAD, strong units, heavy defense, can pull back if required, but mainly hold the line. And then support, you worry about reconnaissance, you worry about probing, you worry about your edge work, you worry about your flanks, and you try to gain as much information as possible while coaching the team. You have a much wider view on the game. Hey, so-and-so, this player that we have as the color yellow, is USSF. They have not been spending points very recently. It's possible they have a nuke, because I also haven't seen very many planes from them, so that would make sense for that deck, for that air tab, for that player to have a nuke. Let's spread out, let's be careful. A couple minutes later, they probably end up nuking. That is a support role. You guys aren't going to get is specific in-depth details with this, because what you need to see is whether or not you should listen to a video like that anyway, because it's going to end up being hours long. And I've already made this recording 14 minutes. But what's useful about this is the gameplay that you're about to see isn't too long either. and I might have foreshadowed this a little bit, but the major thing that I keep hearing from people is talking about elo, talking about this is against low elo people, you're low elo, blah, 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 blah. I worked with Zulu. This is, I've recorded this a few times now, actually, so that I don't keep yapping. So I forget if I even mentioned Zulu or not. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but I'll go over this again. Zulu is the world champ for 1v1s, and he's part of the Monkeys, which are the world champion 5v5. At least that maybe he's going to be playing with them. I actually don't know that part. No doubt, whether you guys need to see the 4 fucking numbers next to the 4 fucking letters in his icon. 2. There you go. 24 or whatever it was. Anybody that needs to see some numbers to figure out whether or not somebody knows how to play the game. There you go. His buddy Relic and some other guy, Lands something or other, Lanzer, is 22. There you go. There's your numbers. We played people with similar numbers next to their names. Even though my lowly 17 or whatever I think I'm 18 now, whatever it is. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's because your team carried you. Oh, it's because of the enemies, whatever." Now, of course, this footage was corrupted. So when this gameplay starts to play, you're probably going to want to mute it. You can do what you want. The audio that you have afterward, the audio that I still have from the beginning, but again, is still corrupted and very poppy, will back up whatever needs to be backed up. Maybe if you talk to these guys, they can talk about it. I don't know what they would like to say when I'm not there, but the footage that we've gotten, the 1v1s that we've done, the games that we've done, the hours and hours and hours and hours of coaching that I've done with these guys, the proof is in the pudding. We have yet to fail. Zulu and I won a 2v5. I forgot about that. I'll post that footage at some point too. It's dominant. It's proven. It's reality. Let's put everybody's differences aside and start to figure out if this needs to be balanced, how so, and work with the developers to get it figured out. Or this is the best way to play the game, and because it is so different than the way that most people play the game, we don't end up screwing up the community even more when people try to do this compared to try to play normally and not understand what's going on. So here's the footage. I've got some other games. We're finding it extremely difficult to get games. There's 1v1s that can happen. We're going to try and get some more this weekend. If you guys would like to get involved, if you would like to learn more, I need high elo players. I need people that are very good at the game. If you know somebody like that, if you are somebody like that, please come help. Let's get these games. I will gladly, literally play anybody. Anybody. I just want to get this system out there. I want to get it tested. Let's get to it. Thank you very much. Enjoy the gameplay. Probably mute it. Like I said, it is corrupted. And the reason why I yapped so long is because it was pretty short. Foreshadowing. 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 Talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much for the support, especially through all this BS. Let's see what we get to. Let's see what we get. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a nice day. See you guys. We can go back to the 1v1s, but I thought it was going to... And it is going to be beneficial to, at the very least, get the part out where it's just like, oh, it's based, you know, oh, you're only able to do what you're doing because it's a low elo game. And so at least you would have been able to see that firsthand compared to when I was playing with Pius and them. Honestly, when playing with them, it would just turn into boring. Like, everything's kind of just stalematey. Is that the way that most of your games go, or do you guys occasionally get, like you get to full cap people sometimes?
If they fuck up massively at some point in the game, sometimes we do get sudden death games, but I like the majority of the games, I think, they go the full 45 minutes. Cruisers incoming mid.
More coming. Lanzer, if you wanna try and make a, maybe not your focus, but lean more towards AT rather than anti-infantry, that'll be a better support for the middle. I'm gonna be able to handle infantry and light vehicles, no problem. Good job being aggressive on the left. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah, I'm trying to go for those 300 right now.
Yeah. From a learning perspective, now we know these guys like their fucking cruise missiles. I don't know if that's a usual thing for you guys at the CELO, but that's...
It is a
They
dominant
really went for the fucking
Russia
cruise missiles.
currently.
Yeah, that's... They fucking go for it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot more prevalent, like, in a couple of weeks. A lot more Rush players are just standing cruise missiles on.
Blue tanks coming up.
See if we can snipe that.
Заходим по одному. ПВО, слушай. Ускориться. Глаз алмаз.
all in a cluster,
I'll
please.
I'm back happy on H.
Right, thank you.
Ждет приказа. Куда вас
Just
доставить?
need to keep an eye on it.
Куда вас довезти? Заводи мотор. Транспорт на связи.
Where those tanks run off to? Is that where the cruisers are going?
They're like in this area right here. I lost line of sight though.
Gotcha.
Should be a good cluster. Yeah, you got it. Nice.
Spot.
Противовоздушная оборона. На приеме. Принял. Выдвигаюсь. Двигаюсь к точке. Пустите вы. Выбрасывай. Транспорт, слушай.
They have no supplies
Куда вас доставить?
at all on the front.
Огонь и маневр. Мирных нет. Гранату туда. Так, слушай. Крупным позициям. Готовы к любым приказам. Как насчет шахт? Приказ понял. Едем. БМП на связи. Чё встали? Транспорт есть. Мотолыга здесь. Уже еду. Боевая машина пехоты на связи. Мотолыга тут. Приказ понял. Едем. Контакт, контакт. Транспорт на поле боя. Приказ понял. Выезжаем. Коробочка на приеме. Есть контакт.
What happened on H? Was there infantry?
We capped it. No, they didn't have any infantry here.
He was panicked. Oh, it was a C run.
Should I play right now?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, sorry.
Атакуем на ходу. Выдвигаемся. Сближаемся.
Forgot to move my sauce though.
Прямо.
On there. Should be dead.
БМП на связи. Мы под огнем. Противовоздушная оборона здесь. Транспорт здесь. Ведем бой. Что? Вперед! Морпехи ждут указаний. Транспорт ждет приказа. Погнали! Двигаемся! Двигайся, блядь! Давай в штурм! Где мы нужны? Противовоздушная оборона. Слушаю. Двигаюсь к точке. БМП слушает.
I like how that's Mr. Alligator like 5 times. What?
Yeah.
Мотолыга на
What-
приеме.
What is that?
Транспорт ждет приказа.
Is this real life? What the heck?
Отделение поддержки под огнем. Ждем указаний.
Sometimes I can get lucky too, I guess.
Заводи мотор. Вижу контакт. Транспорт на связи. Сначала граната, потом ты. Пути. МДЛБ, слушай. Да. Команда газы. Двигаюсь к точке.
Cluster, cluster. Oh, baby!
Транспорт есть, ведем бой. Выдвигаемся. Пехота, подам работаю. Мы в бою, транспорт слушает. Поехали, потом заведемся. Для нас нет ничего невозможного. Пехота ждет указаний. Противовоздушная оборона. Докладываю. Машина готова продолжить бой. Уже в пути. У нас 300-е. Приказ понял. Выезжаем.
Mobilize Barbarous here if anybody has anything for that.
Yet.
If you want to be cheeky, you can just leave it because then they're gonna move supply up and just hit the supply.
Roger.
Противовоздушная оборона. Слушаю. Атакуем на ходу. Огонь и маневр. Боевая машина в боевом режиме. Ждем приказа. Принял. Выдвигаемся. Выдвигаемся. Боевая машина пехоты здесь. Уже еду. Двигаюсь к точке. Куда вас доставить? Вперед! Бэха, слушай. Понял, гасим их. Поехали, потом заведешься. Куда вас довезти? Здесь жарко. Куда вас доставить? Папа с воздухом были легче. Дави! Беспощадный огонь! Для нас нет ничего невозможного! Давай, давай! Не тормозим! Дымовая завеса! Со всех стволов по позиции! Марш-бросок! Приказ понял, едем. Принял, выдвигаем. Аптеки, работаем! Штурмуем это здание! Хороший дом для обороны. Надо их выбить!
There's a S300 right there, I think.
Водолыга тут. Заводи мотор. Морпехи на связи. Морпехи ждут приказа. Транспорт здесь. Транспорт здесь. Транспорт, слушаю. Транспорт на связи. Морпехи на приеме. Приказ понял, выезжаем. Готовы к выполнению любой задачи. Пехота здесь. Готовы к любым приказам. Пехота, под обстрелом. Транспорт заказывали. Морпехи в боевом режиме. Найти и уничтожить. Пехота на связи. Какие ваши указания? Погнали.
Got a sun death already? Oh, baby.
Транспорт в бою, жду приказа. Штурмуем позицию. Зачистить здание. Беги, Лола, беги! Куда вас довезти? Пехота под окном. Понял, идем.
They had a BRM on the right, but I'm not that worried about it. Your Conkers might get it. Or whoever that is. Yeah, you.
Something to the point, boys. Get something to the point. Cruisers incoming.
We got more coming. We got more coming. Oh, that might hurt though. Dodged it.
Cruise Missile Gaming.
Коробочка на
2 more seconds.
What is this game?
Dude, we did it.
Is that the way that most of your games go, or do you guys occasionally get like you get to full cap people sometimes?
If they fuck up massively at some point in the game, sometimes we do get sudden death games, but I like the majority of the games. I think they go the full 45 minutes.
What was that about not getting sudden death wins every once in a while?
That was good. That was good right there. That's
I don't know how negative I am, but I definitely am. Yep. But
well played. Well played.
yeah.
Fuck, these guys were 2,000 rated.
That was an elo. Yeah.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah. Just for prosperity or whatever it's called. You guys weren't doing like anything I taught. You just were playing normally but aggressive, right? Is that what you guys were doing?
I was kind
or
of
were you
doing
trying
fast
to
push
do...
too.
I was doing
push
fast
a lot,
pushes.
Because I
I was just throwing troops
I-
into the grinder. I missed macroed a couple of times at the end because it was just over. So
but definitely Zulu on the left, like, because we were able to just soak up so many resources in the middle,
It was completely unguarded.
and you
yeah.
were as aggressive as you were,
Yeah.
they just couldn't come back from it. Like, you just can't. Just go forward.
They had nothing
That's
on the flank, dude. Like literally, I had a Barbarous and 2 Kurganets get through, and it was just fucking up every back line.
They couldn't afford to. They bought all those planes at the beginning. They wanted to do the cruise missile thing. So if they don't put points on the ground, you're just not gonna stop. You're just not.
Okay, here's the counter argument. If somebody is doing a good air opening, all of those things are fucking dead in the ground. At least one side. At least
Hey,
one.
rock paper scissors, bro.
At least one
Rock paper
side.
scissors.
Well-
Like you're always gonna find something to say like that, and I'm not gonna deny it. Like, just do it. Go do it. That's all I've been asking for this entire time. Was like, get people that know what they're doing in a room and do it and see what happens. I'm pretty sure, because of the math involved with the planes, it's not going to matter because you're actually doing our strategy by killing us. You can't, like, that's like the alarm going off. That's the worried about the ozone layer shit. It's like, you literally can't do it wrong. You just need to buy units and put them in play and go put them exactly where they need to be. Of course, if you buy Sturmoviki when you should have been buying Marines, or if clearly they're using a lot of SF and you're not using the Ognamashiki, or if you're not using the fire support correctly, you can misplay. But you're not misplaying the strategy, if you want to call it the strategy, since you were saying that earlier. You're misplaying the player. It's a numbers game. That's why I brought up that movie Moneyball earlier. That movie is based off of everybody was playing baseball based off of the skill, the big names, the Barry Bonds, the fucking, I don't know. If you guys don't know baseball players, you're not going to know these names. It's the big names that got all the runs, that did all the big plays, the flashy names. But then somebody came along that nerded the shit out of it and said, well, realistically, if you look at what they do, they get so and so many runs. They get 100 runs or whatever. And they cost this much money. So what if we found 3 players that could still get those runs, and then each of them cost 1/10 of the cost of that big name? Turns out you do fucking fantastic, and you do it with way less money, which I understand economy is in play with this, but the concept is still the same. It's you break these units down into what do they do. There's going to be a thing that does that better and for cheaper, or rather the best for the cheapest. You take those units and you don't give a fuck about anything else. You just put them on the front line and you put them in play. Are you going to need to worry about the flank? Yes, but not you. That's somebody else's job. And if you keep on it and you stay with it, you literally can't beat it. The only thing that's going to stop it is if somebody does it better than you. Like, they do the same units, but they micro them better. Or they put them on the flanks better. It's literally just numbers. That's it.